I'm getting ready to bring to the platform my guy, my dude, comedian extraordinaire, fresh off the Laugh Out Loud, Kevin Hart's Laugh Out Loud, all the way from Mississippi by way of Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? Or is it the other way around? Is it Atlanta by way of Mississippi?
It depends on who you're talking to. Depends on who you're talking to. Either way.
Listen, everybody show some love to my dude, comedian Marvin Hunter, man. What's up, Marv?
What up, boy? What's going on with you, man?
Man, listen, man. We gonna make it do what it do. But I want to go back first, Marv.
Okay.
I want to let people know how I met you.
Yeah, so she was like,
why I brought you on the show.
Uh-huh.
We all met on Periscope.
Yeah.
Years ago. I met Marvin Hunter through Ambrose Jones, comedian Ambrose Jones out of Memphis, Tennessee. Shout out to Ambrose Jones.
Oh, yeah. Shout out to Ambrose.
Marvin Ambrose introduced me to Marvin through Periscope.
Yeah.
Marvin was playing Latitude 360 Comedy Club in Jacksonville, Florida. I think this was in 2015.
Yeah.
I was always rocking with Marvin. He didn't know me from Doe Diddley, but I was rocking with this dude. I had seen him online. It's like, this cat is funny. And just sitting at Waffle House after the show, you and Ambrose just chopping it up. I had never seen you on stage before, just on Periscope.
Yeah.
So when you came to Jacksonville, I paid tickets for myself, my wife, Ambrose, Naisha Williams, and we had another friend of ours with us. That was 5 tickets. Because we get to the door and they's like, yeah, I appreciate who y'all think y'all are, but these tickets, they $15. So, so you know what I'm saying?
I remember that show. They closed that place down.
we could have said, well, all right, we'll just holler at Marv after the show. You know what I'm saying? And just come back later. But no, I bought tickets because I wanted to support you, because I wanted the club to know that you put butts in the seats and you didn't know me from Diddley. You hear me? Bought tickets, saw Marvin performing. To this day, there's a bit this brother did is one of the funniest bits I have ever heard before about the difference between presidential kids and your everyday kids. I just leave it as that, because I leave it as that.
Do you remember the lady confronting me after the show about the frolicking baby deer joke about her son who run like that?
Yes, I do. I was there.
Bro, I tell that story to this day. Like, why would you say, I got a joke for everybody who don't know about a child, and he gay. Ain't nothing wrong with being gay, but he's at football practice. And when the kid's running up and down the field, he running too, but he frolicking like a little baby deer. And I demonstrated. Well, I had this lady, a Karen, before we had a term for a Karen, come to me after the show. I'm trying to sell merchandise, shake hands and kiss babies, thanking people for coming out. And I don't like that joke. That offended me. My son runs just like that. Why would you tell me?
She was serious, brother. She was serious. She was serious.
Why would you inform me that your son runs like that? I mean, and I ended up just walking away from him. I just ended up walking away from him, man. That was one of the most weirdest things, and she was not letting me slide on any of it. It was crazy, though.
Listen, man, I remember that. I remember that night. I remember that weekend like it was yesterday. Like I said, that was in 2015, man. And from that point on, I made a mental note. I was like, I got to show love to this dude, because this dude cool people. He's real people. So fast forward, when I launched A-Train Live The Experience, my comedy room in Jacksonville, Florida, which, by the way, is the largest independent comedy show in the city for the last 5 years.
Yeah.
Brought Marvin in. I'm going to pause right here because I'm lying. My wife brought Marvin in because she loved comedian Marvin. My wife booked you, Marvin. I didn't book you. Tracy booked you. Because
big up to
every
Tracy.
single day, she's always telling me, look, did you see what Marvin posted? Marvin is the husband that I cannot be. She won't let me talk how Marvin talks, but she loves that kind of talk. So she get her other thrill of comedic activity from Marvin Hunter. And
Hey
then,
man,
bro,
big
I
shot,
feel like
big
Will
shot,
Smith
Tracy.
sometimes, because you know how Will Smith had to sit there and listen to Jada tell him. Jada told Will Smith, "I haven't felt this good in a very long time. I have to listen every day for my wife to tell me who I am a comedian. I'm a funny comedian, but my wife got to tell me about another comedian that she think is funny, and his name is Marvin Hunter. So therefore, she books Marvin Hunter to come to Jacksonville, Florida, to perform at A Train Live the Experience."
Hey, big shout out to Tracy, man. I mean, A Train Live at the Experience, man. I'm telling you something. Y'all have been telling me about it. People have been telling me about it. How nice y'all got that place set up. I really did appreciate y'all hospitality, the way y'all had that room set up. It is, you don't say that about a lot of rooms. The room beautiful.
Thank you, man.
You don't say that. The room is beautiful.
Thank you, man. That means a lot coming from you, Marv. Because I know you've been all around this country. You've been in the game quite some time. You've seen some stages. You know what I'm saying? So I really appreciate that. One of the things that your show is one of the highlights of our show, and we've been doing it now over 5 years. Your show is still one of the talk of the town.
Oh, wow. That's good.
The people Flatfoot love every moment of you being on stage, because bottom line is you ripped it. I mean, you ripped it, which we already knew you was going to do anyway. So I was excited to introduce you to our crowd. And
you got a great crowd, man. You know what I mean? Great crowd.
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. And they're conditioned for laughter. They're ready to have a good time, man. Yep. And that's why I tell the cats all the time when they come through, I say, hey, man, look, all you got to do is just do you, because the crowd is ready. Yeah. The crowd ready, man. And it's like, didn't y'all have some issue with some folk couldn't really keep it clean, or they was real dirty or something? You were telling me, or something. We had a situation where I told comics all the time, it's like, I'm not trying to censor you, but because I'm a clean comedian and my platform is mostly like a clean platform, people expect for the comics coming in to kind of be in the same vein as me. I was like, you can use adult language, but just don't F-bomb them to death. Don't let it be unnecessary. Yeah. I say, because when you do that, they gon' pull away from you. Yeah. And brother, we had a cat come through there, man. Listen. You know it's rough when a comedian stop his set and tell you how his mama is a Christian and she raised him in church. Why? Because the audience pulled all the way back from him, man.
Could you share who that was? Bruh,
I can't share it, Bobby.
It be so, I got a sick, weird sense of humor. It be so funny to me when we do clean shows or church shows and comics be up there struggling not to cuss. And I know they set, and I know they struggling not to, and it's all uncomfortable, and you can see the sweat beads just coming down. You like, yeah, you having a rough go of it, brother. You having a rough go of it right
now. Hey, clean comedy ain't for the faint at heart, man. It take a real kind of muscle. Yep. It takes a real kind of muscle for to be up there for like 15, 20 minutes, 25 minutes, 45 minutes, an hour. Listen, man, that's
you know, people look at my regular set, they be like, there's no way you can do clean. There's no way you can do no church. Actually, I mean, it ain't really that hard. I almost do the same material a lot of times, just don't cuss.
Right.
Don't cuss.
Right.
If I have to slow down.
But see, you've done television as well.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying, having that conditioned mindset to where you can manipulate your set and just keep the meat of it. Yeah. And have it appropriate for different platforms. A lot of comics don't have it. They just do hood rooms, lounges, you know. And if they do a church, like you say, don't give them no more than 15 minutes.
You gonna have a problem. You gonna have a problem. And then what's so interesting on that side of the house is a lot of churches where the pastors, they don't want you to be churchy. They just want you to be clean. I've had a pastor tell us before the show, we didn't come here to hear no Bible jokes. We didn't come here to hear all of that. We want y'all to do your thing. Just don't talk about no sex in the church and don't cuss. We regular people.
And see, that's the thing. And I be trying to explain that to people about my platform, A-Train Live The Experience. It's not a church show. Mm-hmm. It's not Christian comedy. Yeah. It's just that I'm a clean comedian. I just don't curse or use any vulgarity in my set. So therefore my platform, you know what I'm saying, is just an emulation of me. You know what I mean? So, but people have that misconception, you know what I'm saying, about what is Christian comedy versus clean comedy versus, you know what I'm saying, just like straight up, just, you know, just raw. You know what I mean? Yeah. So let's talk about this, man. You've been doing comedy for how long now, man? Talk to the people.
I retired from the military in 2010. So I've been professional since 2010.
We appreciate your service, man. What branch?
Navy. Did 20 years.
Navy, man. Mm-hmm. Navy, man.
Yeah.
So you get into comedy. You've been doing it a while. What would you say was that turning point for you to be like, okay, this thing is real. I'm in it for real. When was that turning point, man?
When you mean when it hit me that I think I might be able to do this, or it hit me that I'm doing it?
Both. Give me both.
2005 Mother's Day. I'm still active duty. I'm in Guam. I started doing comedy in non-black rooms. And so up to that point, doing open mic, I was scared to perform in front of black people. I ain't gonna lie, I was scared. I was scared of my own people, man, because just we unforgiving, you know what I'm saying? And just I know how that scrutiny is. So you had a one of those kind of Def Jam Comic View shows that went through Japan, came down, you know, go to Guam, Hawaii, and they redid it. So you had Honest John, Vanessa Fraction, and Frank G.
Oh, nice.
They came through Guam and they was going to do 4 shows. And the host was going to be local DJ. He was scared because he knew it was going to bring all the black people out from the bases. Right. He asked me to host it. I was scared out of my mind, but I hosted. I did a great job. I got extremely good feedback from all 3 of those comics each show. And that's when it hit me. Like, I think I might be able to get out of the military and do this for real.
Bruh.
I think so. Now,
Marvin, you're one of those comedians. I've told you before off camera, but just like in the green room, chopping it up after the show, and I say it publicly, you're one of those comedians where you don't need a punchline. You know, like your Bill Cosby's. Bill Cosby is not necessarily a punchline type comedian. He's taking you on a journey. He's giving you a story. And in that journey, you're falling out laughing. You remind me of that Bill Cosby element where it's like, just let this dude talk. I don't care I don't care if it's about fish and grits. I don't care if it's about ham, hock, and cheese. It could be about whoever. Obama, listen, just let Marvin talk so he can express his point of view, because it's coming out in a comedic fashion. Your approach to it, the words you use. It's like Dave Chappelle. What Jamie Foxx say, Dave Chappelle, he puts this regnate tone of voice on something, then he'll jump to this Yale University type vernacular, vocabulary. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's preposterous. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and Marvin will come up with some vocabulary, and Tracy says, "Who thinks like that? Like, how did he come up with that?" So, you know, hats off to you, man. When you tap into like, you know what, I think I'm able to be able to do this. Because, brother, I'm telling you,
appreciate it,
goods, man.
Appreciate it, man. Yeah. You know, it's been several milestones in my career. You know, one of the ones I know that when I felt like, okay, I'm doing it. I used to be scared to go to Uptown in Atlanta. Okay. I would drive through here. I would go there, and Uptown was brutal. You know, Uptown wasn't no joke, man. Uptown, they would burn you at the stake on there. And I would watch Nard hosting them just destroy people. And I'd be like, man, I'm not never get on that stage. Listen. And I I went up there a couple times. When I moved here, I was already headliner, but it didn't matter. I was kind of nervous. You had to learn the city, and I did okay. And then it's like, okay, but I'm better than this. And I just really kind of just just worked the city and got the energy of the city. And I did Carlos and Friends. I'll never forget. I did Carlos and Friends, and I murdered it. And that's when it hit me. I was like, okay, I'm here.
You got the goods.
Let's go.
I don't think the listening audience that's watching this and listening to this, I want to make sure they understand where you coming from when you was talking about Atlanta, Uptown Comedy Club in Atlanta. Mm. This is a comedy club to the general public, but a lot of comedians, we see it as a graveyard. That comedy club has a lot of headstones. You can walk in there, but you might limp out at best. You know what I'm saying? And then some never come out at all. It's
never come out at all.
Listen to me. Steve Brown, shout out to comedian Steve Brown, was doing his, I guess, like Thursday nights or whatever at Uptown. Mm-hmm. Friday nights or whatever. He's like, Train, come through, do some time, man. I'll put you on. It's like, okay, yeah, that's what's up. So I go there. This is my first time at Uptown. Steve's on stage ripping it as he normally do. Mm-hmm. In between each act. And he was like, all right, the next comedian coming to the stage is my brother, my homie, all the way from Duval. Them Negroes in that audience said, boo. He hadn't even called my name. He said, all the way from Duval. Not one table, not one dude who done drunk too much.
The whole room.
The whole room.
That's Uptown, baby.
The whole room. I'm still sitting in my seat. My wife there, my sister-in-law there, because everybody like, my brother-in-law performing at Uptown tonight. He getting ready to go up. So they come there to support me. Yeah. And when Steve Brown said, all the way from Duval, the whole club said, boo.
Man.
Boo.
At Uptown.
Like, hey, y'all cut that out now. Cut that out now. Come on, A-Train. Come on. So I'm getting out of my seat like,
bro, you ever seen somebody prepare themselves to boo? At Uptown, I've watched a brother quietly stand up, fix his shirt, get himself together, take a deep breath. Boo! And like a gun, like he's shooting it out as a gun.
You feel it.
You
feel the boo. Listen, man, I was like, what in the? I ain't even got out my seat yet, bro. Are you kidding me? Listen, and people always ask me when I tell that story, it's like, so how did you do? I was like, listen, I can't tell you. I just know when I got up there, I was ready to get down. I was ready to get back to my seat. Ambrose Jones say, Train, let me tell you something. He say, there's some rooms that I ain't never, ever got to worry about doing again in my life. He said Uptown is one of them.
Oh, yeah. It's some, I'm going to tell you something. Atlanta is some hard room. That's why, like, if you master Atlanta, you can go to New York, you can go to LA, you'll be fine. But they, not so much New York. New York usually come in and be okay, but LA, a lot of times, it softens them up. And they come to Atlanta and they get the business.
Hey, LA, that comedy out in LA is just, that's like homeschooling. Then you release your child to a public school with reduced lunch. They're not fit for it, brother. They're not fit for it.
and they hate when you say that, and then they say, well, that's just ghetto. No. They just ain't for that BS. And you tell them, hey, how's it going? Nice shirt. They finna throw something at you. They want to hear that. You got 30 seconds. You know what I'm saying?
But I'm gonna tell you, Atlanta was my litmus test to make sure that I knew that I had the bona fide goods to do any type of platform. Yeah. Because with my background being a clean comedian, of course I did a lot of tours with like hip hop tours or what have you, and hosting arena shows and stuff. So I kind of felt I know what it's like to be in a different energy. Yeah. But I wanted to make sure that I can survive the Atlanta crowd. Yeah. And I am proud to say I love doing the Uptown Comedy Club. the new one, and I love doing the Atlanta Theater.
Yeah.
I've ripped both of them because I had to do that for that. Them two stages wasn't for nobody but me. I had to show myself something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now I ain't saying I'm the funniest cat in the world. I'm saying Uptown love me and
personal
Atlanta Theater
milestone.
love me. I survived.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So going back to you being in the military, you do this thing called Navy Stories, right?
Yeah.
Tell the people what that's about, man.
Well, anybody who ever been in the military, it doesn't matter. It could be Air Force, Coast Guard, Marines, Army. You have these stories. These stories are usually outlandish and ridiculous. If you never been in the military, most people think, oh, they over there lying, tell a lie, tall tale. No, it actually is real. And people that have been in the military, we sit around and we tell these stories all the time, just talk about it. And I have often said, man, I need to start sharing these things with people, man, because I know they funny. And then I started doing that, and a lot of people like it. Now, I used to have a Thursday night where I would always have a military story, but what ended up happening is everybody on there want to talk about sex and hookers. So it made everybody think that all people do in the military is go get hookers. So I had to stop doing that. Because the women, everybody had some kind of hooker story or some sex trafficking story, which that happens in the military, but that ain't all. Right. So I had to stop doing that, but I do tell my own personal stories. You know what I'm saying? I do still do that, but people get a kick out of it.
Do you have a short one or like that you can probably toss out to the people? Like case in point, something you remember or
Okay.
I know one of my favorites. Well, I'm not gonna miss you. Go ahead.
So we had this dude at one of my bases, and he was a weirdo, and rumors were that his wife and him were swingers, and they used to get into all kind of little crazy stuff. Well, it's very short, but it's very crazy. His wife went on leave, and this is in Hawaii. So his wife went back to the mainland. He was over there. He was an E6 at the time, and I was junior. So you look up to these people. You think these people are responsible. You know, as E6 supervisor, whatever. And I guess he likes to. I don't know. Can we cuss?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
So he likes to take the vacuum cleaner, suck the hose, and put it on his thing, right? On his stick, right? So that's his thing. That's how he been getting down. So I guess he got bored. I guess he got bored. That wasn't enough. That wasn't enough for him. This fool, some kind of way, got his dick close to that little brush thing and got it caught in there. No shit. He had to call Shore Patrol and the damn ambulance to come get him out the house and get his dick out that vacuum cleaner moving parts. He a supervisor. A supervisor. He supervised troops.
Oh my God.
He in charge of people, kids in dangerous situations.
Oh,
and he just stuck his dick in the goddamn vacuum cleaner and got it caught up in the damn thing.
So how often do you give these stories, Mom? How often do you do them?
A lot of them I can't tell. They too hot for TV. Like, because it's an infamous number 17. That story was up all a good hot 9-10 minutes before I started getting bombarded by people. Take it down. You gotta take it down. Take it down. Like everybody, like military people, hit me like, dog, look, you can't have it up. Take it down. And I looked at it again. I shouldn't put it up. It in my mind, I was the hero of the story, but it did make it look like that I was kind of poking fun at a tragic type of situation. So very few people seen it, and people be calling, hey man, you gotta send it to me in the inbox, but I don't want that to see the light of day. If I see somebody, if I see you and you ask me about it, I tell you about it, we face to face.
Somebody said in the comments talking about, but did he cheat though?
He got his dick cut in the vacuum cleaner.
So I wanted you to tell people about this because I want to make sure that folks follow you, man, and rock with you. Some of them are probably already rocking with you, but I'm telling you, people, make sure you follow the comedian Marvin Hunter, man, because I'm telling you, you never know what you're gonna get, but it's always gonna be hilarious, man. So make sure you support him. when he feels the unction to give another C story, and he go
yeah.
live on his gram, man.
Yeah, yeah.
So I want to do this part of the show, Marvin. I'm gonna toss some might be a name, it might be a topic, and you tell me first thing you think about. It might be a person, might be a title. You know what I'm saying? And it's gonna pop up here at the bottom of the screen. And so when you see it, I want you to address it and let's talk about it.
Okay.
All right. So here we go. Okay. First one. Let me bring this up. Oh, it's a good one. Mike Tyson.
First of all, I hope that Roy Jones got his insurance straight. That's what I hope. Because if he ain't got half of that speed he used to have, Mike gonna catch him.
Listen.
He gonna catch him. It's gonna be a sad day.
Listen, I think Roy Jones might be the first boxer to get his neck broke in the ring. Because one blow from Mike Tyson gonna take that boy, what the country folks say, smooth off.
Smooth off. I mean, Roy 49. Mike 53.
I don't even know. It wouldn't even matter. It wouldn't even matter, Marv.
It wouldn't even matter.
It wouldn't even matter.
Because Mike look like an animal still.
He's still an animal. He's never been a boxer, bro. He's never been a boxer.
Yeah.
He is a killer. He is a trained killing animal, period.
Yeah.
Did you see the interview he did? Was that Sugar Ray? And he was sitting there crying, saying, you know, how he been trying to practice being a humble individual.
I know the art of war. That's all I ever studied. That's why I'm so feared. That's why they feared me when I was in the ring. Because I was an annihilator. That's all I was born for. And now those days are gone. It's empty. I'm nothing. I'm working on being the art of humbleness. Can you believe in me? That's the reason why I'm crying, because I'm not that person no more. And I miss him. Because sometimes I feel like a bitch. Because I don't want that person to come out, because if he comes out.
This is Mike Tyson, bro. And keep in mind, Marvin, he got old man strength right now.
Yeah.
Tyson got old man strength. Anybody from the hood know about an old man strength.
Old man strength is a real thing. Joe don't need no emergency brake on the tractor. They'll hold it with their hand. That thing going away, boy.
The only way Roy is going to survive, he's going to have to get some shoes from Floyd Money Mayweather and just run the whole fight. He's going to have to dodge Tyson.
He's going to have to. Now, those two happen to be my favorite boxers of all time to watch. I really enjoy watching them during their prime. I mean, but I am concerned for Roy.
Bro.
I'm concerned. Bro, all that, you know, well, how Roy used to train with chase the chickens, hey man, that was
that
you got old pimp.
He ain't everybody who Roy has knocked out.
Mm-hmm.
Not one of them could have beat Mike Tyson.
No.
In no era.
No.
In no era. And I don't know who put this fight together, but whoever did it was evil. This is not right.
Whoever did it, they ain't friends with Roy. Roy ain't their friend. He ain't their favorite person. They indifferent to his livelihood, to his life.
How you gonna beat somebody who don't mind slobbing on themselves on national TV? Mike Tyson is in an interview talking, and he is slobbing, trying to tell you what he getting ready to do to you. You can't beat a man who ain't ashamed to slob on himself on national TV. You can't beat that. He's not.
He has tasted the blood of another man. How many people do you know that tasted the blood, that tasted the flesh of another grown-ass man? Right. Mike Tyson done did that. He has no fear.
What's your boy out of Alabama? He got his neck licked, you know, but he ain't get bit.
Oh, yeah. They ain't pierced skin. Roy has tasted a Holyfield blood.
Mike Tyson tasted.
Yeah. Mike Tyson. Yeah. He is done. He has no fear, no boundaries.
Hey, somebody say the only way Roy Jones gonna survive is that he don't show up.
Yeah.
This is something, man. All right, I got another one coming for you. I got another one that's gonna pop up for you here. Let's see here. Come on. Ooh. Meg Tha Stallion.
Now,
What you got to say
I'm
about it, Marvin?
I'm like, Meg Tha Stallion is 6 foot tall. So Tory Lanez,
laying down or
got
standing
5'5"?
up? Which one?
Huh?
Laying down or standing up? I don't
Standing up. Now, the way the thing go is they say she was punking him and slapping him all across the head and all that kind of stuff. Now, he ain't but 5'5", 5'6", and she towered over him. Now, if a man was doing a woman like that and she shot him in the foot, they'd be like, well, he got what he deserved. How much should the man take if she ran slapping him outside the head because he looked and embarrassing him? I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's crazy that made the news. You know what I'm saying? Now her I don't know how she held all that butt up with them two with both her legs. That what I was like, is this some kind of titanium in her legs or something? Because if he shot in her, seemed like that the weight of that butt would have just made her collapse. She still somebody say 5'3", so he 5'3", and she's 6 foot, and she had on heels.
He can't even iron clothes because he can't see up on the ironing board. He can't.
How is that a couple? What they be going through? That seemed kind of nasty, to be honest with you. That's like she with a child or something. That's too much for him.
I was saying, how is that a couple?
He was bound to get hurt one way or another anyway.
Oh my God! So you feel like this brother was fearing for his life? That's
what I feel. I feel like he was fearing for his life.
Fearing for his life. All right. That's good enough. Let's see here. We got okay. Oh wow, here we go. This is the third one. We do 5. Here go the third one.
First of all, I need him out of office. I don't care how he go at this point. I don't care how he go. He can get attacked by a swarm of bees. It'd be fine with me. He need to be gone. This dude, did you see what he said today?
No, what did he say?
He told the people in the suburb, he did away with Obama's Affordable Care Act. He did away with it and told the people in suburbia that they no longer have to worry about low-income housing and stuff coming to their neighborhood, and told them to enjoy it after that. That's what he tweeted. This motherfucker crazy. Trump crazy, man. Is crazy for real. And then he got that crazy lady. Now, I guess this is his doctor now, the black lady from Nigeria, who said that is demons in the sperm, and that the witches is binding Donald Trump. Is it painful to be that crazy?
And some people saying that she's paid off, that she might be an actor, because when she was on that press conference talking about how she treated 350 patients, and she has given them that drug that is designed for malaria
and lupus. Yeah.
And I'm like, ma'am, you missed the other headlines, because I'm steady looking at headlines where people who tried the same drug for COVID died.
Yeah. Here's the part that aggravates me. People who are the conspiracy theorists, folks. This is Christmas time for them. This is Christmas time, 4th of July, roll into one. This is a special time. This is a great time to be alive. You're a conspiracy theorist. So, but the people who are agreeing with her, they are agreeing with her as if everybody who's disagreeing with her is saying that the drug is bogus. The drug works for other things. We ain't saying a drug is bogus.
Right.
Or you shouldn't take the drug. Nobody's saying that. We say that this bitch crazy as shot rabbit, and she should not be allowed to be given information. Look at her YouTube. This lady crazy. And it's like we can't. It's like it's a death of expertise. You can't go to school. You can't be learned. You can't have experience at nothing. It means nothing because a motherfucker named Johnny on YouTube have an opinion.
Right.
That rivals yours.
Right.
And folks be like, you know what? Johnny sounds about right. Johnny is a damn electrician. He don't know nothing about no goddamn infectious disease. I don't give a fuck about the goddamn Johnny. I don't give a fuck about what he talking about. Fuck Johnny. I'm so tired of this. I'm just tired of this.
They acting just like Trump. They acting just like Trump.
You a sheep, man.
Trump told the scientists, oh, they don't know what they're talking about. Sir, how?
Yeah. And people went with him. He said he knew more than the generals. He ain't never been in the Salvation Army. He ain't never been in nothing. He got on TV and said, I know more than the generals know. He ain't never been in politics, but you had people who saying, well, he might be right. See, that's the age we living into. It's a great time to be an idiot because people listening to you now. You went your whole life. Man. You remember when stupid people had to be quiet?
He crazy, man.
Do you remember when stupid people had to be quiet?
Right.
That was a time. That was an actual era. Now, stupid people get to talk and say whatever they want to say. You tap dance and break dance in front of you and can't say nothing to them. It's crazy, man.
You say, Mom, we used to keep him in the back room.
Keep him in the back room. You don't let him out for company. You don't let him out for company. I remember when I was deployed to Bosnia and CNN and them politicians would come over there and tour them bases and stuff. We was over there. They would make all of us, brothers, a lot of us, they would find busy work for us. So the camera wouldn't come near us. So we couldn't talk to them people because they know we gonna tell the real. See, I'm gonna tell you, first of all, it stank over here. it smells like baloney. These people don't appreciate us. They be talking crazy. I don't like none of this. I'm ready to go home. See, that's what I'm gonna say to the camera, and so you keep me away from
right.
As well, they should.
They go find them people right now and give them the microphone.
Yeah.
So I got another one for you, bro. Another one for you. This is number 4 out of the 5 topics that we bring up. So here we go. Woo! What you feel about the 90s hip hop?
The best era, man. Like, you know Jay Bliss, right?
Yeah.
So me and Jay Bliss gonna do a versus. He gonna do 87, 88, 89. I'm gonna do 92, 93, 94 and say which one is better. I believe that 92, 93, 94 was like, man, it was so much good hip hop coming out, man.
Period. To this day, that whole era right there is a staple in time, man.
Yeah.
It's a staple in time for his hip hop. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I was just watching. What was it? That was an interview on T.I.'s podcast, Expeditiously, and they was talking about that time in hip hop when that concept or that whole theme got trending, saying telling Diddy to free Locks.
Yeah.
Listen, man, and I was watching that interview, and I thought he mentioned Puff's Powder Blue Bentley. And I remember I was in Fort Lauderdale back in that time, and I didn't even know what a Bentley was. I saw it in front of my hotel. I knew it was expensive, but I didn't know what it was. It was in front of my hotel. And then there was another one parked behind it, like was a convertible. I'm like, I say that might be a Rolls Royce, but I don't know who cuts the top off a Rolls Royce. All I know is that's an expensive car.
That's the butt.
I go into my hotel. I try to get to the elevator. The lobby is full of people, which we didn't have all that traffic when I left that morning. I come back that afternoon. The hotel is thick. The floor, each floor of the hotel, you just see people walking. It's like a flea market.
Yeah.
And on the floor, all of the rooms, their front doors open, and you got people going in and out, and they got jackets and stuff on hangers and shirts and pants, and so I'm trying to get to my room. I'm like, I don't know what all these, like, what's going on? Come to find out, that's when you had Carl Kanai, Sean John, FUBU. That's how they used to launch their clothing brand. They would go to a city, set up shop, put the news out some kind of way, have people come to buy from these vendors. And that's how they got their gear out there. They would go from city to city. And it was my first time stumbling up on it, and I didn't even know what it was. So in this interview that T.I. was having, they was talking about those days with the powder blue Bentley, and I was like, yep, because I saw that mud parked in front of my hotel room.
Yeah.
Didn't even know did it and was up in there trying to come up on the grind. But that whole era, like you said, that 90, 91, 92, 93, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And Mace is from Duval. People don't know that.
Oh yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, Mace is from Jacksonville, man.
Wow. I did not know that. But man, that time was incredible, man. I try. Sometimes people say, well, you know, you can't say that, you know, your era is better than the era now, because I was like, well, I kind of can because folks was talking about something, and I can give you examples, because you know what I'm saying. 1990, 1991, Ice Cube dropped, Public Enemy dropped, Poor Russian Teacher dropped, Paris dropped. All these people dropped. All this brand Nubian, X-Clan, all these people dropped. So I'm 19 years old. That was my education. So when they say hip hop can't inform and can't influence the masses, you a damn lie. Because I know everything that I know about everything, like black consciousness. As a young person, if I didn't get it from my dad, hip hop did the rest.
Yeah.
So if you got motherfucker out here talking about, you know, he show up to the spot, cock out for the thoughts. That's it. That's the song. Like, what we doing? And then we had shallow hip hop too, because you had Two Live Crew, you had Hammer, but it was a balance.
Yeah.
You had militant, you know, informative, conscious hip hop. It was balanced with everything else. Now there's no balance. There's no balance.
Like Public Enemy, man. Them boys always woke. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
They were always woke. And like you say, from there on up to, you know, like those mid-90s, man. Yep. So that's what's up. But I know you love hip-hop, man. I know you're a hip-hop connoisseur.
Yeah.
Who's your, give me two of your favorite old school
artists or albums?
Do both.
I'm a Jay-Z fan, man. You know, nice. I am really, really a Jay-Z fan. I think that regardless of whatever else they saying about him, the Illuminati or whatever, you know, Negroes want to say, hip hop is braggadocious, has always been. I got the most money, I got the most car, I got the baddest bitch, I got all these things. Everything that hip hop is, he's that. he achieved it. He achieved it. The boss of bosses, he achieved it. You cannot dispute that. And the man is nice with the words.
Hey, I like that, Mom.
You know,
everything hip hop is.
He is that. He embodies it. Now, you know, like UGK is like my favorite, you know, Southern group. Outkast. I'm a huge Outkast fan. You know, I'm a fan of Biggie. I'm a fan of Tupac. I don't think that you could say who's greatest hip hop artist. I don't like. There's no way you can say that.
Right.
There's different eras and shit. But I will say this. And it's just my personal opinion. The greatest hip hop album to ever come out is The Chronic. I don't care. I'm biased. I know what it did when it came out. The greatest hip hop album is Chronic, man. I'm sorry.
You know, Marvin, you ain't the first to say that. You're the only one I heard say that.
Yeah, man. The Chronic is, dude. I remember where I was at, who I was with, what I had on, what car I was in the first time I heard The Chronic. I remember all of those things, man. That just let you know what it did to me, man. Like, that album came out, no fanfare, because albums just dropped on Tuesdays at you know, Tower Records and stuff like that. And we didn't even know Dre had nothing coming out. It just dropped. And I remember everybody would listen to it coming. It would look like a child. They would look like a deer in head, like, no, did you hear the new Chronic? He'd be like, what is that Chronic? That's Dre. Tomorrow, do we get? I'm like, what? Because I don't even know he officially out of NWA. I don't know none of this. I don't know none. All I know is that shit dropped. And when I heard it, man, I was like, oh my God.
Bruh, definitely a classic, man. Them boys, I don't think people start calling Chronic. I don't think they named the album Chronic due to Chronic existing. I think it was the album first, and then people started calling Chronic because of the album. I don't think Chronic influenced the album. I think the album influenced like, because it was that same time,
Yeah.
I never heard Chronic before.
I never heard it before either. I never heard it before either.
That project.
Yeah. Yeah. That album was amazing, man.
You know you got a fire album when you done created a whole genre of weed.
Man, the lyrics paired with the beats it just was so sonically pleasing to the ear.
It was ingenious, man.
Yeah, it really was, man.
Yeah. Well, that's what's up. I got one last one for you. What we on the time? Let's see here. Okay. There we go, brother. We're gonna end it with this one, man.
If not now, will be the GOAT.
I love that. I love that approach of the respect to everybody that came before him, and also recognizing what this work this boy putting in. I love that. I mean,
as comedians, we have a different respect for what he do that I think the public understands. And a lot of times you say that, because people treat their favorite comic, their favorite singer, they treat it like sports teams. Like, I'm a Dallas Cowboy fan, so Dallas Cowboy can do no wrong. I'm a Yankee fan, Laker fan. So it's like if you say that somebody's better than their guy, then they flip out. But I'm telling y'all, Dave Chappelle a different animal, man. He's a different animal. You know what I mean? He really is, man. He is something different.
Right. I respect that. I agree with you on that too, Marv. When I just believe down the road, when people peel the pages back through the course of time, his name is going to represent a certain block of history.
Yep.
Just like we talk about Pryor, just like we talk about Eddie.
Yeah.
And then because of how the game has advanced, like you say, and he has never fumbled.
Yeah.
Never fumbled.
Yeah.
Like you say, if not now, he may go down as the GOAT.
Yep. And with what I try to get people to understand, and a lot of people don't want to hear that, but when we say he the GOAT, that don't mean he the GOAT of your particular brand of comedy. Because that's people kill me with that. Like, if I don't like him, then he suck.
Yeah.
First of all, with all due respect, who the fuck is you? Like seriously, you represent an opinion. That's an opinion. Overall, your favorite comedian tell you that this man is a monster. Because we understand what it takes to write and how smart he is and this, that, and other.
And society is telling you.
Yeah, I have always said that, in my opinion, George Carlin, and for like modern comedy, George Carlin is the head, Richard Pryor the heart. I've always, for modern comics, stand-up comedy, George Carlin, Richard Pryor. That's my opinion. Dave Chappelle's right down the middle of them two.
Brother.
He right down the middle of them two, man. It's dude brilliant.
I agree. I agree. Tell the people how they can follow you, Mom.
You can follow me at Comedian Marvin H on Instagram and Twitter, and Marvin Hunter's fan page on Facebook, man. Get at me, man. You know what I'm saying? I be up here doing my thing. We on quarantine. Ain't no shows happening, man. You know what I'm saying? We just be out here.
I was ready to say, if you got something going on, tell the people what you got coming up, or how they can catch you. Because sometimes, we got cats out here doing virtual stuff. So, you know what I mean? So
all them shit got canceled, and the one that didn't get canceled, I ain't doing them. The COVID is real, people.
The COVID is real. If you don't believe it, ask DL.
Yeah, man. I asked DL. I know one comic that died. I know 2, 3 comics, 4 comics that didn't had it. I talked to them.
Jay Phillips just bounced back from it.
Who?
Jay Phillips, comedian Jay Phillips.
Yep, sure did.
Yeah,
comedian Blowfish died. Comedian Woda had it. Comedian Sanchez had it.
Blowfish died due to the COVID?
Yes.
Oh, man.
Now, he had some underlying problems.
But I heard he was hilarious, man.
Yeah, oh, man, he was, man. He was. People around here, is Baldhead had it. You know what I'm saying? And you had to talk to Baldhead about his experience. It's horrible, but, he going to make it funny regardless. Right. Man, I'm going to tell you something, boy. But I'm I'm trying to stay away from it, dog. I just can't right now. You know, I'm not saying I wouldn't do no shows, but I be real selective about what's happening, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So let's leave the people with this, man. If you had a choice to really vocalize to people what it is that you were out to do as a comedian, and the work that you would like to leave in the earth, like your legacy, like tell the people, who is Marvin Hunter, what is he about, and what is it that he's trying to do?
Well, first of all, Marvin Hunter is not out here to gain fans. Marvin Hunter is out here to attract like minds. I have always been that way ever since I was on Black Planet. You know what I'm saying? Way back. You know, because I think that a certain point of view gets drowned out in this PC world.
Yeah.
And you know, that's where that whole grumpy uncle thing come from. I'm gonna give it to you the way that your uncle and your daddy and your granddaddy used to give it to you. It's abrasive, it's straight, no chaser, but I want to honor them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everything that we was taught by our fathers, grandfathers, about how we supposed to walk this earth as men is being challenged these days.
Wow.
And I want to stand up tall and say, I ain't going.
Wow.
I ain't budging.
Wow.
You know, it's not meaning that I want to, you know, belittle nobody else or anything like that.
Yeah.
You do whatever you do, but don't bother me. I'm walking the path. I want to be the tip of the spear. I want to be a leader. I want to be someone that my son and my nephews them can look up to and stuff like that. And I think, there's a place in this world for old school values. It ain't all just, you know, disposable the way some people would think these days. So
yeah. Well, that's what's up, man. That's love. I appreciate it, Marv. Thanks for coming through and rocking with me, man.
No doubt.
Listen, good people, this has been Behind the Scenes with comedian A-Train. With A-Train Live, the experience behind the scenes. Got my dude, Marvin Hunter, from Atlanta, Georgia, by way of Mississippi. And thank you for hanging out with me on the night. All right,
no
bro?
No doubt. Peace. All right.
That's what's up. Love you, bro. Man, thank y'all so much for tuning in, man. Next week, catch us right here, same time, same channel, next Wednesday for Behind the Scenes with A-Train Live, because I have another comedian that I'll be featuring and chopping it up with, who has graced the stage of A-Train Live, the experience. All right? So spread the word, turn your notifications on, and I need you all to subscribe to my YouTube channel. My YouTube channel, I just started. I opened up a new YouTube channel. It's under Comedian A-Train. All right? I need your subscriptions. All right? So subscribe. It don't cost you nothing. Just click the button saying you subscribe and turn your notifications on. That's my YouTube channel, and it's Comedian A-Train. So y'all come over there and rock with me, man. Real talk. All right? Deuces.